4 reasons why you should have a suspension trainer. Hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchard with Theology, Geek, Fitness, and I'm going to talk about those reasons right now. But in a prior video, I had compared suspension training with resistance bands, and I just kept going back and forth which one I like better. And I've done a whole series on various suspension trainers because I love suspension training so much that I've tried a lot of different suspension trainers, and I even ranked them all after completing my reviews of each one of them. But suspension training, I think, is just a wonderful way of getting in shape without a whole lot of fuss about it. It's even less of a hassle than, dealing with a bunch of different resistance bands. So on that count, it is a little bit better. Getting a good leg workout, a little bit iffy. But if you like both suspension training and resistance bands, then for 3 years in a row, the T2 Fusion Trainer has been my favorite piece of home gym equipment of all time. So that one combines suspension training and resistance bands in one single unit. So you can kind of do both ways of training if you like both ways, just like I do. So big fan of suspension trainers. And really, unless you're getting into like buying TRX, which I've reviewed, the TRX Elite, which is I think anywhere between $180 and $200. The first reason to have a suspension trainer is they're relatively inexpensive. So other than the TRX, and then the T2 Fusion Trainer can be kind of pricey, but because it is so awesome at what it does, and it does several things really well, it's worth the investment way more than I would say a TRX is. But you can find suspension trainers anywhere from $10, like the one that I've been using for a lot of my workouts that I got from Five Below a couple years ago. They haven't been selling it lately, but you can get them pretty inexpensive. Walmart used to carry a $15 one from Spry that I've done several videos on, that I thought that was a really good purchase for what you get for the cost. But nothing has beat that $10 for the price, for the quality from Five Below. And I don't know why they don't sell it anymore. Even if you had to pay twice that much, $20 for that thing, it's worth buying. But suspension trainers are really inexpensive. Like the typical suspension trainer you can get that's of decent quality, you can check out options like they have on Amazon, and there's a lot of what I would call like off-name brand type suspension trainers that I think are in the $30 to $50 range that are really solid. I've used several of those as well. There are other higher end ones like the Pocket Monkey, I think runs about $100. And that's a really good small portable one. But as far as portable suspension trainers go, I think that the Kinsui Nanobars 2 is excellent. And one advantage it has over some of the others is like with rings, you can do pull-ups and dips with it as well. You can set it up to do that just like you could with like the Sling Trainer from Angles 90, along with their grips, which are also a little bit pricier, but about $80 can get you that whole setup as well, and it fits in your pocket. So speaking of which, the second reason would be that they are portable. In fact, I would say that they are more portable than even resistance bands. They have a smaller footprint when you bag it up and put it in this little pouch or whatever it comes with, a little backpack or a little sack or whatever. Suspension trainers are really portable. They can fit. Many of them, like I said, the Kinsui Nanobars, the Angles 90, the Pocket Monkey, I mean, they can basically fit in your pocket. And I like what Matt Schifferle from the Red Delta Project talks about. He says, it's basically a weight machine that you can fit in your pocket. So reason number 2 is they're portable. Reason number 3 would be that you can do so many exercises to work the entire body. With suspension trainers, people talk about how leg training can be a problem, but I haven't found that to be the case, especially if you're using the T2 Fusion Trainer. But it seems like the leg training gets a bad rap, but it's basically just body weight leg training that you can do and have straps to help you with balance. So maybe you lack the mobility or the balance to do things like pistol squats. Well, you can just hang on to the straps and you can do them. And I mean, try pistol squats. You can get a pretty good leg workout. And I still think that you can get solid workouts doing hamstring curls and those kind of things. And with the fusion trainer, and you get into the isokinetic thing, it elevates suspension training with on your legs to a whole other level as well. But just using any sort of regular suspension trainer, you can get solid leg workouts in. Though, to be completely honest, for full disclosure, I do use a weight vest because with any sort of body weight leg training, volume becomes the way to achieve hypertrophy, because you just have to, increase the volume. But a weight vest, and I'm a big fan of the Kinsui Easy Vest, but just getting a weight vest of some kind, or even just a backpack filled with books or rocks or something to weigh you down a little bit when you're doing your squats and your sissy squats and things like that, with, and your lunges on a suspension trainer, it really does cut the volume down and you're getting a solid leg workout. So everything else, though, is tops. I mean, when you're talking about doing chest exercises, back exercises, even though with most suspension trainers you can't pull off pull-ups, you can do, bent over lat pull downs, you can do jackknife pull-ups, and you can achieve the same vertical pulling movement. So even there, you're a lot better off than just using body weight. If you're into calisthenics and just body weight training, a suspension trainer helps with getting in more exercises for your back that are a lot better than just, say, trying to do Superman variations or whatever. So you can pretty much cover the entire body with that. And the fourth reason would be that it's scalable for any fitness level. And, a lot of people try to think about progressive overload and how do you achieve that with resistance bands or with suspension training. And it's actually a lot easier than you think. I've done videos in the past on this. But what I think is a slight edge with suspension training than resistance bands is, during a set with resistance bands, say, you can, let go of some of the band through your hands relative to the anchor point and lighten the load if you're starting to fatigue, but you're not quite hitting failure, or you want to go past failure at your current tension. You just let a little bit of the band go through. With suspension training, though, it's kind of similar, and it's just the angle of your body. The closer your feet are, the more resistance or tension you're going to create leveraging your body, and the further away you move your feet, you're going to lighten it. And so you can really go to failure and beyond a lot easier with a suspension trainer, I think, than even most equipment that you'd have to put down. Like if you're standing in front of a rack of dumbbells and you want to jailhouse it all the way down the rack, you're putting stuff down and you're picking stuff up and all of that. Whereas with this, you're just slight shift in your feet and you've taken some of the load off and you just keep going with your set. And as far as remembering, well, I need to add leverage. Well, I mean, by the first or second rep, if you're thinking, oh, I need to go a little bit more resistance, you just move your feet closer to wherever it's anchored and leverage more of your body, and bam, you're already there. It takes literally nothing. So it's not really hard to achieve progressive overload, and it's not hard to work in regressions, backing away, leveraging less of your body weight in order to accomplish whatever you need for your current fitness level. So it's immediately scalable just by how much of your body weight you're leveraging. So it makes it really easy, takes a lot of the thought out of it, takes a lot of just tracking numbers out of it, because one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough either with resistance bands or suspension training is the fact that, you're always having to remember writing down, okay, well, I was doing biceps curls and I was using 30-pound dumbbells, so to progress, I need to go grab the 35s or put some little micro gains weights on it or something like that. Whereas with just suspension trainers, like, I just need to move my feet. That's it. And so, or with resistance bands, I need to either add another band or take out more of the slack in my starting position, you know, pre-stretch the band, things like that. That's actually a plus that I think often gets undersold as a benefit, and it's usually cast as kind of a knack against it. Well, it's just easier to keep track of numbers. Well, yeah, but it's also easier to just grab closer to the anchor point if it's the band, or move your feet a tiny bit if you just need more resistance and go up. And by the way, once you get used to it, you pretty much know where you're starting and where you need to adjust a little bit if you want to increase for progressive overload. You just kind of fall into the habit and become second nature, no different than just grabbing dumbbells. So those are my 4 reasons why everyone should use suspension trainers. They're portable. You're not always going to get to the gym anyway. They're not that expensive, so it's always nice to have on you. You can pretty much do every sort of exercise. If you can do it on a weight machine, you can do it on the suspension training device, which is a weight machine in your pocket. And, of course, it's scalable to any fitness level, you know, from beginner to beast. And if you know what you're doing while you exercise, it doesn't matter what your tools are. So those are 4 reasons why you should have a suspension trainer. So if you liked the video, click the like button. If you didn't like the video, click the dislike button. I don't really care either way. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as of the time of this video's release. And if you want to support what we're doing at Theology Geek Fitness, you can do that by going to patreon.com/theologygeekfitness. $1 gets you into the door to over 100 workout videos that you can follow along with. It features the kinds of equipment, including suspension trainers that I use on this channel on a regular basis. Suspension training, sandbags, dumbbells, you know, whatever. All kinds of resistance bands, gymnastics rings, all kinds of stuff. I have workout routines for that. Pull-up bar, dip bars, all of that you'll find there on the Patreon for $1. And if you are a $10 and above patron, you get in on my quarterly gear giveaways. Got one coming up in March. Because all the money that I get from the patrons gets reinvested into the channel to buy new equipment to try. If I like it or don't like it, if I don't think I'm going to use it, I offer it up to the patrons and ship it to them at a first come, first serve. When I release the video, they send me an email, and I say with their address, I say, I want that. And just in case, tell them to pick a second option, you know, in case somebody beat them to it. So I send it out to them just like that. So I appreciate all my patrons for making this channel possible, and I appreciate all of you watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.